I was listening to a YouTube video. I think it was quite a while ago, and I was one of the speakers on it was Tony Robbins, and he said that people have become hypnotized by a culture of weakness. And like I said, I don't really know how long ago that was, but it just struck a chord with me. It was, out of all the things that he said, that one was the one that stood out the most. And it seems to me like these things are getting worse. There are certain groups, or there's certain people in our society, certain parts of our society that are actively engaged in promoting the mindset that they're trying to elevate vulnerability. They're trying to elevate limitations in a person, right? To say people are vulnerable. We did a video recently where I was talking about going to a doctor, and there's so many different conditions that you can have now. I truly believe that at some stage in their life, there's going to be very few people who don't have one condition or another, multiple conditions that they're taking pills for or getting treatment for, and I'm not sure if it's part and parcel of the society that we're living in, but people are just, people are sheep in general. A lot of people are sheep in general, and they're allowing these things to happen to them in their lives. They're allowing the vulnerability, and they're allowing limitations to take over themselves, right? Instead of looking at themselves from the perspective of their strengths, looking at themselves from the perspective of having a growth mindset. Instead, they've got this fixed mindset where they can't grow. Life is always about that. Alfred Adler talked about this, how that everyone is coming from a position of inferiority. And he wasn't talking about it like, you're inferior to me because you're fucking white, or because you're female, or because you've only got one arm, or any of those things. That shit stuff in life, right? That makes no difference. Everyone's coming from a position of inferiority because when you come into this world, fuck all. You don't know anything. Everything that you need. You've got certain basic traits. Jung was talking about the basic traits that we have, that there are certain things that are built into you. There's certain things that are built into the reptile brain, right, which keep you alive. There's certain traits that we have within our emotional brain, the elephant brain, that keeps you moving away from danger and towards the fruits of life, right? But everything else you've got to learn. So you're coming from an inferiority to people around you, and it's not even in comparison to other people, right? It's from an internal perspective in comparison to what you can be, right? Your growth. They say the best way of moving forwards is not to be in competition with somebody else, although that can help sometimes. It can help as a spur, but if that is your raison d'etre, your reason for doing things, then, it's not a good idea. We're talking about here the competition with yourself. I'm going to push myself until I get to this level, and then I'm going to choose a different level, higher level, and move up to that, right? So mindset is a great strength. It's something that can really lift you up and bring you to the places that you want to be, right? We're not talking about trying to get to anywhere where you don't want to go, right? Sometimes you don't know where you want to go. It's only in taking the journey and experiencing what it is that you can understand that you don't want to go there, but you have to go through it. You have to go through the experience. We always tell people there's two different types of knowledge. There's the knowledge that you can only gain through your own experience, and then there's knowledge that you gain through learning. I can teach you a lot of the second part. I can teach you. I can make the journey of your experience shorter, right? So that you don't have to go through so many hoops or overcome so many obstacles, because I can tell you which obstacles to avoid. I can tell you which paths to take, that kind of thing. But I can't do the experience for you. I can't make you have the experience. You've got to do that for yourself. But as well as that, mindset is a strength, but it's also can be a great curse if you've got the wrong mindset, right? So you need to break free from limiting beliefs. There's a power in making people victims or highlighting the limitations, especially when you say that these are your limitations, these are what's wrong with you. Ronald Reagan used to say, had a famous thing, and I'm sure it's been something that has been said before. But he said the most terrifying words are, "I'm the government and I'm here to help." Right? I always remember that from him. I always saw Ronald Reagan as quite a weird character when we were growing up. I remember the Two Tribes video from Frankie Goes to Hollywood where he was fighting, was it Khrushchev? I think it was Khrushchev. In the ring, or there was two doppelgangers, two people who were pretending to be Khrushchev and Reagan. It was just funny. Oh no, it wasn't Khrushchev. It was what's the other guy? The guy with the birthmark, Gorbachev. Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things that I remember about Reagan. So I don't remember much about him. The Gip I remember he used to be called. Anyway, I'm getting off of one now. I think resilient people who have that resilient mindset, growth mindset, who want to do good things for themselves and their family, they don't stand for this bullshit, right? They don't just feel better when they're empowering themselves, or they feel better when they're on a progress, when they're opening up potential, when they're achieving potential, when they're all the time growing, right? Is it not better to do that? To feel that when you're improving yourself, when you're empowering yourself, when you're growing as a person, when you take charge of your life, do you not feel better? I think people should completely resist this culture that discourages them from taking control of their lives, right? From realizing their full potential. We said before, just because you open up a potential for yourself, it doesn't mean to say that you're going to achieve all that potential, right? Some of the stuff that you might achieve, some of the directions that you may want to go in your life, you might head towards that and decide that it's not something that you want to do. And potential also opens up the possibilities for dark things to come into your life as well. So it's not just for the bright things. We're not talking about that. Alcohol, drug taking, they're all part of your potential. So the problem is that opening yourself up to positive potential and working towards that and letting that out and letting that become part of who you are, that takes work. You can't have an instant gratification mindset and still move forwards in any meaningful way. In any, you can have a mixed mindset, right? So you're getting instant gratification, but you're also moving yourself forwards. I think we need that to a certain degree. You need to reward yourself in the moment, which is an instant gratification thing that you do. But if that is your dominant mindset, you're never going to get forwards. So, like I said, resist any of these temptations to make you a victim, right? You're not a victim. You're in control of yourself. You're in control of your own life, of your own destiny, of your own potential. You're in control of opening up all of your potential and moving towards the most positive parts of that potential, if you get what I mean. So anyway, take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.